Mm. It's good that we waited till the last episode to figure that out.
Yeah, well, it was a secret cue.
It was known only to you.
You're also psychic.
It was so secret. I let no one in on the secret.
It worked. It worked though. Like when you finish your wine, when I see you finish when you're done drinking, I'm
tapping.
Right, that's our cue. That's our cue to wrap it up.
Lily's out of wine.
She's out of wine.
When you're out of wine, that just means it's time to get more wine.
True that, but usually an hour.
No, you need to get a backup bottle.
Well, I don't have a refrigerator in here. That's the thing, and I like my wine chilled. I don't like room temperature wine. I know you're supposed to, especially with breads, you're supposed to drink at room temperature. I don't like it. I like chilled wine. So I fill up my cup, which this is like half a bottle worth when it's full. I see how much is left. And then like I pour the other half when I'm done, and this is what's left.
I can feel you. I don't like cold shrimp cocktail. You're supposed to eat that shit cold.
Me either. I don't like cold shrimp cartwhip either.
I throw it in the microwave, heat it up a little bit. I just
at least room temperature. At least. Mm-hmm.
Y'all are crazy. It is Even Friends podcast du jour, and we have Harbinger, Juddy, and Cooper here, our podcast fam. It is the season finale, and it has been a rip-roaring season. What do you guys think? It's been a marathon for me. I won't lie and say that I'm fucking exhausted, but it's been a journey, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you do a lot more shit than the rest of us do. I just kind of just click the button and put on my earphones and say hi and talk, and that's all I do.
I was out hustling money, so I missed a couple episodes.
You did. I was here for every episode, though. We'll say that.
Juddy had to have sex with his wife, for some very special time.
Listen, anytime you get a kid-free night, you're gonna take advantage of that. So.
Oh, we're 100% supportive of that.
100%.
That's a good call out sex.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was guaranteed.
We have a call out sex for the show. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. So that's that, and I have zero guilt on that one.
You shouldn't.
But I think one thing that I think we all have learned after this season is that overwhelmingly a hot dog is a sandwich. And fuck you, Harbinger.
I would have to say overwhelmingly no one agrees with you.
Don't know what you're talking about.
No one agrees.
I was not keeping
on
score
anything,
at all,
much less the hot dog situation. And fuck you, Judy.
Listen, it wasn't a situation until you made it one, all right?
I'm not the one who posed the question first.
Typical.
That was all you, motherfucker. That was all you.
Lily.
You just don't like to hear the truth.
Just
the truth. The facts say fuck your feelings. The facts say fuck your feelings.
Hey, listen,
feelings.
Sam, we've got Hurt who just messaged. He's like, "Let me in."
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. He was asking. He added us all and asked if he could join.
He's just gonna hop in and he's gonna talk shit to me. I know it.
Well,
he's already doing it.
I have on that subject for season 3. I haven't talked to you guys about it, so this will be a nice little bomb drop. But I think that what we should do is actually not have guests, but give out the Zoom information and let people be in the waiting room, and then we can pick randomly people to come on if they want to come on in the middle of the conversation. What do you think?
I'm okay with
that's
that.
An interesting idea.
It's like Russian roulette.
Uh-huh.
Yes, exactly.
Call in talk radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, or call in, yeah. So
you can call us for love advice because all of us are really good at love stuff.
Like Love Line?
Yeah, yes. There you go. Now you see where I'm going with this.
Oh, who gets to be Dr. Drew and ask everybody if they were molested?
I'll do it.
Me.
If you're calling into us, it's like a 50% chance you were already molested anyway. So.
You're watching the show, or if you know any of us at any level.
Yeah.
I'd say 51%.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God. All right, I'll invite him in, but it's gonna take me a minute, so y'all just.
He's he messaged me directly. He's like, "Let me in."
So
I heard
yes.
I heard my phone go off as we were starting, and my little spidey sense was like, that's someone wanting to that might be her.
So while we're waiting, yes, you can go to Hooters at any given time, and as a parent, I encourage everyone to take their kids to Hooters.
I've never been to Hooters.
We were talking about Hooters before the show, and I was wondering, because my kid wants to go, so I was like, yeah, am I allowed to do that? I will totally do that.
Yes, and I have been taking my son to Hooters since he was 2. There was at one point, my father, myself, and my son had a family, a 3-generation Juddy meal at Hooters. And my kid has a kid's t-shirt signed by, I don't know, 17 different waitresses that he's worn the shirt to Hooters, and they've signed like over the years. So yes, you can always take your kid to Hooters. My family buys me Hooters gift cards so I can take my son with on them.
Well, someone take me to Hooters.
Juddy,
I've never been.
Did you guys get a picture of this moment of Juddy Jr. and Grand Juddy at Hooters?
We do have a picture of us all.
Generation
awesome.
Juddy.
We do have a picture of all 3 of us at the table.
Hey, you've achieved it.
Dude,
I need to see that as your pod wife. I'm telling you, I need to see it because I haven't seen it yet.
It is like something that I consciously made a decision as a parent. When I had my son, I was like, I'm taking you to Hooters because things like this should not matter to you when you get older. And so like you will be exposed to this since before you can even remember. And it will be like nothing when you grow up, because, if you're somehow uncomfortable with going to a place like Hooters, then you're a lot more uncomfortable going a lot of other places, and you're probably no fucking fun. So, fuck you. And like, it's something that like, it shouldn't matter.
But that's the thing, is that Hooters doesn't show anything. It's just girls in tight shirts.
Little shorts.
I mean, it's like there's nothing. I mean, it's not like you're taking him to like a porn theater and showing him how to jack off for the first time. Yeah.
This is listen. He has to like. He's got to be at least 10.
Do people do that?
Probably
not around here. There aren't any, but if there are some, I'd populate one once just to see if I can rub one out in a theater full of people. I mean, it's all about the experience, you guys.
His hormone monster's like, throw back a pepper shake, baby. Gotta wear the pepper.
My hormone monster's like, I don't. It's like, I don't wash. I just take bubble baths.
You're so good at that voice. I
love her so much. I'm your hormone monster now, bitch.
You're just a bitch.
Right.
Bitch.
Eve doesn't get a hormone monster. She gets a fuck gremlin.
She does get a fuck gremlin.
That's right.
Oh, I've missed all of you assholes.
I missed you too. Stop making money, damn.
How dare you have a life and make money?
We just got locked down again. We start on Monday.
I saw that.
Oh, really?
Yep. As I've affectionately titled him, the pudding-headed fucking office, which really went rampant on my local Twitter. So they didn't even announce it on TV. They were too busy like circle sucking each other off about this hospital or medical center that they built out near Toronto. And they're just like, oh yeah, the liberals this and liberals that, and Jesus beat Moses with a baseball bat. And I'm like, what about this fucking lockdown? They sent out a press release to the media. And so right afterwards, me and the two girls I work with, like they stood the way the fucking ape stands when he stands like Trump, but not as arched out, but he just stands there like with his arms hanging like a fucking silverback. So we made this video to make fun of him, and I was like, oh, and the pudding-headed fucking office. So what they did is it was announced yesterday through the media and stuff. Monday we go into lockdown. So 12:01 a.m. we're locked down on Monday. but they're going to let us reopen at 20% capacity on April 12th. So we're shut down for 2 weeks, and then we get to reopen and have 2 people in our shop, basically.
So what's the point of any of that for 2 fucking weeks?
Well, here's the thing. A week ago, they opened up indoor dining to 50 people. And I'm like, why is this? And it's because the schools are so rampant with cases right now. And because of the restaurants opening. So they're going to shut everything down, and they're going to blame the restaurants. They're going to blame the businesses for really keeping the fucking schools open. If they had just shut us down for 1 whole month, didn't let people do fuck all except go to the grocery store and go to the drugstore, nobody would have been mingling. Nobody would have been fucking spreading or coughing or sneezing or touching shit. They would have been home. They would have been cooking their own goddamn meals. They would have not been going places and shut the whole province down. They didn't. Because the economy is a person, apparently. The economy is this almighty God that these motherfuckers bow down to, and they have to preserve it. You know who the economy is? It's the goddamn banks. I had to pay my full rent on my apartment and my business. That's over $7,000. I had to pay every month. We were shut down. But guess what? My landlord got his money, which in turn, he paid for the mortgage. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? The people I rent from here are condo developers. The people who I rent from at work own tons of buildings that they rent to businesses, and they have condos and apartments. So it's basically the politicians and the banks. That's who matters. I'm noticing it in the States as well.
It is in the States. It's very, 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 very similar here, except I think the only real difference is that every state here is kind of like making their own rules.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys are a little bit more uniformed across the board with the fuckery.
No. It is not across the board. The problem being is a lot of the provinces are of like-mindedness because they're run by conservatives. The conservatives and all of the notations and the charts and everything, the conservatively run provinces have had more outbreaks and cases than the liberal run ones. And the NDP is like a third party up here, New Democratic Party or some shit. They're no different. They sling mud. But it's the conservative ones, just like the conservative states, Florida, Texas, their numbers rose with the exception of California. I don't know who runs that because they were doing good the first time and then they got all fuckery after that. But across the board, the whole country sucks with this, but it's mostly the conservatives that are the problem.
Eve will have to speak to California because I don't know what the hell's going on over there. I know that Florida fucking sucks. They basically just they're basically just pretending that COVID doesn't fucking exist.
And what's funny,
let's have WrestleMania here, you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Let's put 45,000 people in Raymond James Stadium for 2 nights. That sounds amazing.
Way to name drop.
Yeah, California honestly has been reopening and I had a massage yesterday and she touched me with her hands. So, it actually, it was actually very nice. I recommend, if you're not being touched, go pay someone to touch you once a month.
Oh,
I've never had a massage. I've never had a massage by anyone other than someone I'm going to fuck.
Who has to open his audio again? Someone's knocking out the door, Frenz. Where's your audio, bitch?
Herp bees. He can't decide if he's going to be on or not.
He's having some technical difficulties.
As usual.
This is what's nice about impromptu-ness. Oh, denied. Audio denied.
And there he goes. So that was Herps.
Cooper. Yes. No, he'll be back. You don't figure it out. So, does anyone remember who our first guest was this season?
It was Dan.
No.
That was our first guest.
No, it was Cooper.
Oh, it was me?
No, you were the second one. He was the second one. Dan was our first guest.
That's not what my calendar says.
I thought Dan was after me. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Was he really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's correct.
I don't
You know
think
why?
so.
Because it just feels like Cooper's been on here from the beginning. Because you know, you after that, because you became a host right after the first episode. We brought you on to just be part of the show.
Oh,
And then
that
we
is
had
right,
Daniel.
because you were on the
Yeah.
Dan episode. That's right. Fuck.
Yes.
I don't
Hi,
remember.
Herb. Herb was the
Listen.
third. Herb was our third guest.
He was the sweetest.
Hi,
Say
Herpy.
hi. Can we get your audio? Are you working?
Can you see what the fuck's going on?
I don't
What the
think
hell?
he can hear us.
He looks confused.
Oh, Lily.
What's
so
up?
I got a TikTok.
Did you really?
So does Tanya.
Do you guys do TikTok stuff?
Yay.
Not yet. I'm just voyeuring and realizing it's mostly lip syncing and people dancing to shitty music and occasionally funny stuff. But I follow for 2 minutes to late night, angry reactions,
Mm-hmm.
and this girl that I saw on Trashy Boners on Reddit.
Well, the thing is that like the For You page, like it re-algorithms as you like things. So you tend to like, it hones in on the shit that you actually like. So I have a lot of ADHD people and mental illness people, goth shit, sub-dom shit, a lot of people that hate Trump. And then just funny assholes. Oh, a lot of transgendered people too. So that's kind of like my entire TikTok situation. I love it.
Tanya's thing today is this guy who did a Hall & Oates challenge, and he's playing the song,
Mhm.
and it's like doot doot doot, but he's like, "You're a cunt," and that's all she's been singing today. And like we can hear the music in our head.
I've seen that. I follow that guy.
She follows him.
I do. Dun, 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 dun. You're a cunt. Hi, Herb.
Herb.
Hey,
Herb.
Oh, I'm on.
You're
I'm
on.
live.
Yes.
What's up?
He's gonna sit there like a static fucking Juddy's fucking Abby over there. Like,
I didn't know what was going on.
Neither do we.
just talking. Dude, there's
What's up,
no
guys?
format to this. It's just us shooting shit.
What the fuck, man?
That's a
What's going
format.
on?
But shooting shit is
You
our
know,
format.
having
Car
no
crash.
format is a format. But yes,
What's
Herb
up?
was our third guest, and he decided to come in and knock on the back door. And you know, I always let everyone in through the back door. So of course,
Truth.
Well,
Truth.
you know, I
Say yes
love
to
you guys.
that.
I like hanging out with you guys. So fucking
we
A,
like
man.
hanging out with
Let's
you too. You're
What's up,
you're
Jim?
gonna definitely be on more, you bastard.
What's up, Jim? Or
It's Cooper, bitch.
Mr. Cooper. Sorry. about
Hanging
that.
with Mr. Cooper.
Hell yeah.
Like no one remembers that show but me.
I do.
Do
I
you?
remember it. Yeah. Remember, I'm old as shit. I think
Oh
I'm the
yeah, that
oldest
is right.
here.
You are old as shit.
I think I'm the oldest.
I think so.
Now to explain the Cooper thing.
Yeah, explain yourself.
All right, I've always hated my fucking name. I've hated James and Jim and Jimmy and fucking Jimbo and
To
Jim
be truthful,
Bob.
I hate it too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
go
I
on.
agree.
I've
agree.
never liked the name, and it's never fit me. It has
Mhm.
never, like, when I tell people my name, I actually get like an acrid taste in my mouth because I just despise it. And it wasn't until just before I turned 30 that I met my real father, my biological father, and my fuckheaded mom named me after him. They never had a relationship. They fucked. She made him hot dogs, which are a sandwich, and then she had
No.
me, and he
No.
joined the-
Not stroke
And-
Judy's ego. No.
They're not sandwiches.
Thank
So-
you.
so-
Thank you, Herb. Thank you.
So then she had me.
Pipe down,
he had already.
guest.
Shut the
he had
fuck up,
already joined-
Judy.
So she had me just as he was joining the Marines, and he's a little scrawny shit. He's like a tiny dude, and so he joined the Marines, and then my mom like fucking took off with me to Texas, and then married this guy who became my stepdad. My stepfather or my real father never looked for me. My mom wouldn't tell me who he was, but when I met him, I'm like, this is who I was named after. It made me hate it even more. So I've been playing with the name for years, since like '98. And I just never had the courage to try to change my name to what fits me. And Cooper has been the name that I felt should have been my name. It should have been attached to my fucking soul. So I've used that for like hotel reservations. If I have to like call and prank somebody, I'll use that name instead of my own name, back before caller ID. And so Tanya and I were talking about getting TikTok to like follow the content and see what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody already had my name. And so I went with Cooper, and I've talked to Tanya for the past 10 years about this, about just how much I hate my name. And that's why professionally it's always been Mr. Watts. I love my last name. I love my heritage of the Watts family, just didn't like my first and middle name. So I told Tanya, I'm like, I think I'm ready to take this jump and start being called something that I feel. And, I can sympathize with trans people in that they're changing their entire person sexually to fit how they are mentally and how they perceive themselves. But for me, it's just my name never fit. I've never had the honor of being proud of my name, aside from my last name. So I talked to Tanya, and I talked to my, the girls I work with, and everybody was like, do it, man. And the people that I've told were like, damn, dude, that I could see that being your name. So
I see it.
Me too. No.
I went yesterday and changed.
I resonate with that. Obviously, Eve, that's like, I did the same. I've hated my name my whole life too. And it's never fit me. So I'm right there with you, brother.
Like Eve, like seriously, I know that you understand, because who would name such a beautiful white woman LaQuisha?
Exactly. Like, that's such a fucked up name for you.
I always hated Jeremy, which is my name, so that's why I went with a venereal disease. Was herp. So that's why that was my thinking on that.
I never knew that was your real name, man.
Yeah.
Well, now you do.
Herp is his real name.
Well, I knew Herp wasn't his name, but no, I would have never guessed you as a Jeremy. So
there you go.
I want to say that, like, over the years, I've seen that
it's
once
like a
or
Sean
twice.
to me.
There's lots of Jeremys, though, on the interwebs.
You know what? Since we've got Herp,
too many.
Herp made a very fucking valid point today. Did
he really?
Yes. And I even
you feeling okay, Herp? You feeling all right?
I was like, is everything okay? Like, how's your chest feeling? Do you need you about to come to me, Elizabeth? Like, what's going on here?
Okay.
You got a defibrillator in your house?
So while he's trying to
tell your wife to call 911.
While he's trying to get that drink down, he tweeted today, why is it you can buy a whole ass
That's going all over his phone. It's going all over the phone. Everywhere. Yep. There. Yep.
Yeah, fuck off, you guys.
So he straight up asked, why can you buy a whole ass chicken for $6, but it's like $24 for 6 wings? That's a valid point.
That is a valid point.
And I was like the rest of the day, dude, I was like, God damn. Like, that's some fucking, I pondered that shit for like 2 hours at work. I'm tattooing Vanilla Ice on this guy, and I'm just like,
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck is this 90s wannabe rapper bullshit? What the hell? Motherfucker ain't under pressure. He's under construction. What the hell is happening?
The live stream that we did for the shop, for the telethon that I did, this guy is the one that won, or that had became the winner of the auction for the date night tattoo thing, dinner tattoos.
Okay. I got you.
And somewhere in the night, in my tiredness, we talked about Vanilla Ice, and he was like, "Well, how about a Vanilla Ice tattoo?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Vanilla Ice's face is very hard to cartoon because he's got such a goddamn like squared off jaw.
He looks like a cartoon.
But besides that, let's get back to this fucking question that Herb has put out for the universe.
Let's talk about chicken, you guys.
Hey, come on, let's get back to that. Yes.
Why are wings so expensive, but the whole damn bird is $6?
I don't know. Judy, you go to Hooters a lot, as we have already established.
Yeah.
You're like the expert on wings. So you tell me.
I think he's more of a breast man.
Are they baby chickens though? Like, that's what I want to know.
Oh, they would be baby delicious, and babies are delicious.
Babies are delicious.
So like baby.
No, so quick, real easy breakdown for you. If you ever go to the grocery store and you buy like 3 chicken breasts packaged up, right? If you look at that, it'll say $2.99 a pound. If you buy like the chicken tenders style thing, you will pay like $4.99 a pound or $5.99 a pound. Like you just buy like the straight up chicken and make your shit. If you go to the grocery store and you just buy like a whole thing of just chicken wings, like I had to do that because I'm on this fucking diet where all I've drank is fucking water and I fucking hate water. So because I've been on this, I can't go to fucking Hooters. All right. So I actually was craving chicken wings last weekend, went to the grocery store, bought like just chicken wings, like just like the wing of a chicken cut off and just grilled them and then just drenched the motherfuckers in hot sauce. Like it was the only closest thing but it satisfied my chicken wing craving. So I can actually tell you as of last week, that's like that you just need to buy like straight up chicken and the shit is cheap. If you buy the pre-cut shit, you're going to pay for it. And when you go for fucking wings, yeah, you're going to pay for the fucking
but Juddy,
wings.
But where are the smaller wings coming from? It's my question.
Dude, they are coming from delicious baby chickens.
They're coming from Planned Parenthood.
Yes,
the Planned Parenthood of
that's
chickens.
What it's
hopefully.
So, I mean, I used to work at a wing or a BW3 or whatever, like back when I was 7 years old, and
aren't you still 7?
Wait, what's a BW3?
It's a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Like,
B-dubs. Okay.
So
I know what Buffalo Wild Wing is, but I don't know what the fuck a BW3 is.
A gang sign for chicken stores.
Exactly, that's what it is.
You gotta listen. You just gotta know chicken your wings. All right, just know your wings.
Are they always from babies, or is that?
No. I just looked it up. The chicken wings we eat do not come from baby chickens. They come from adult chickens who can't fly.
Oh, thank you, Cooper. Cooper and
Encyclopedia.
There you go.
Listen,
and this has been hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I hire him as the fact checker of this show.
We
already have a tech support, Judy.
That's true. Do you know the only chickens that can't fly though? Baby chickens.
No.
I don't care how old you are. You're still a baby. You can't fly. That's the whole point of having fucking wings.
See,
the whole fucking point of having wings.
By that logic, I can't fly either. Does that make me a chicken? A baby
penguins,
chicken?
Penguins are the most useless fucking birds ever. What kind of fucking bird with fucking wings can't fucking fly? You useless piece of shit.
Ostriches,
they're
emus.
worthless. They're worthless garbage fucking animals.
Whoa. What's with the penguin hate, you guys? What the fuck? Like penguins are awesome. They're cute.
No, you listen,
and they slide on ice and they get raped by seals. Like they're amazing. And they march.
Speaking of chickens and speaking of TikTok, Cooper, you have to, since you're new, you have to get, this is how TikTok gets really good, is you actually get these like account referrals. So you got to follow this one, Alexandra Design GA. Because this is one of the funniest fucking TikToks ever, and you don't even need to like see it. You can just hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Fight the chicken, get the egg. All right, now listen here. Don't get mad at me. They're not gonna hatch anyway. We don't sound the alarm. Yeah, let's go tell all the girls I'm stealing your fucking eggs. Ooh, they're warm. Warm eggs.
Ooh, they're warm.
Speaking of chickens. That TikTok, I've been laughing about it for like 5 days, so I couldn't help myself. But
listen,
that's a good TikTok account.
I would think this show would despise penguins because aren't they one of only like 2 in the animal kingdom that are monogamous?
They are.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I do know that.
Are we anti-monogamy on this show?
I don't think we're anti-monogamy. We just have an open mind on this show. But that's why I do like penguins, is because they're the anomaly. They're not sitting here going on what the other fucking people in the other animals in the animal kingdom do. They're saying, "Fuck you guys. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and we're gonna remain monogamous for the rest of our fucking lives."
That
also,
shit
they
is
can dive fucking 200 to 300 feet down.
Yeah, they can.
Into the fucking sea, man. Like that's fucked up. You chickens can't do that. Only penguins can.
Yeah, but I'm not eating penguin wings. You know why?
Yeah,
not yet.
Fly either.
Funny story. Boston, where Judy and I met.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
You love me, you stupid bitch. So
shut up and keep going.
I don't hear a denial here. So stupid fast, and who else was it? It was what the hell was his name? It's something else now. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, there are three of us like drunkenly walking down the street of our hotel, and we found this yard because it was during like the winter vortex shit going on. There's a fucking penguin in someone's yard, so we fucking
penguin,
a penguin like a yard ornament. Penguin? Yeah, a real penguin was out in fucking Boston.
He's like it's a wicked pisser.
It's a wicked pisser. So yeah, so we stole this person's penguin. And then went into town the next day and just took random pictures of him like all over the place, like on the tee and in front of the aquatic place. And I'm drunk. And in the restaurants and like in bars and shit like that. And then finally, one of our dudes that was with us found a bitch to fuck and we left it at her house. So yeah, we stole penguins together.
So Mrs. Jetty did pretty much the same thing when long before she was Mrs. Jetty. We were all just friends. We were in college. And we lived in a house that was across the street from a church. And the church had like the wooden, like the sheep lawn ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
So we were you think about this. This was, well, more than 25 years ago. All right. So she might have been on something. Let's put it that way. And her and her friends went across the street and stole the sheep lawn ornaments. Well, do you know what 20 whatever years later is sitting in my backyard as we speak right now?
A sheep lawn ornament?
You fucking right. And every time I see it, I'm like, God, I'm so going to hell.
I support this decision. Yeah, I almost brought Pepe home with me, but he wouldn't fit in my carry-on.
There you go.
We named him Pepe, by the way. So, yeah.
Oh, you named him, huh?
We did. We named him. We named the penguin, yeah.
Well, yeah, but yes.
We named him Pepe. Yeah. He went with us everywhere for like a couple of days.
Fucking savages.
Yep. It was great. So whoever owns Pepe now, like, tell him I said hey.
Yeah. So Herpa, what was the best thing that you liked about being on the show with us to Complete Degenerates?
Tell us that we're great.
Oh, you guys are amazing. You got me out of my shell. Fucking 2020 has been so
popped
weird.
Your shirt off twice.
I popped my shirt off twice. You know, that's
you
how I
showed your
roll.
face when you said you wouldn't.
I know it. Yeah, and here I am. So like fucking A.
My episode, we
had so much. That was one of our. I have to say that was our most watched episode.
Well, of course it was. I mean, like, you know, everybody loves it.
There you go. I like. Dude, so I mean, have you been really kind of like, I don't want to say locked down, but like, you know, socially just like secluded or feel that way at least over the last year? Is that like a real thing for me?
You're asking me? Yeah, for sure. It's for real. Like anxiety is off the chain, you know, like it sucks. So, yeah. Whatever, you know.
I feel like I've been prepping for this my entire life.
But you're like me. You just kind of roll with. I mean, you just do what you got to do. You roll with it, but it just eats at you, right? Like just, you know.
Yeah, it just sucks, you know. Like exactly. I have a business where I'm an independent contractor where I'm my own boss. I don't work with anybody ever, and but to go to like the grocery store anymore for me, it's like an anxiety attack that's just like imminent, you know, at all times. So it's like
never was like that before lockdown.
It really wasn't, no. So and I don't know, and I don't really follow politics. I don't care about politics at all. Like it had nothing to do with that, but it was just like that whole fucking weirdo shit of like, oh wow, shit's about to shut down, and whatever triggered in my fucking brain was just like, okay, it's time to just be a fucking recluse, you know.
Yeah, so like I'm feeling like I'm with you in a lot of that, because my wife she's a teacher and has to go into school, has been going into work for, you know, whatever. My son's been going to school. So I literally have been stuck home for over a calendar year. And like you just kind of like you kind of like starve for like human interaction at some point.
Do you?
Do you really?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do, but like it's like, well,
I've gotten used to it.
Yeah. Well, my wife and I went on our honeymoon on February 14th, and we spent 2 weeks in Florida on this in Florida. Did I just say Florida?
Ooh, Florida. So did you catch the vid?
But anyways, when we got back, it was like 2 weeks later, the fucking pandemic hits, and it's like, God damn it, like, I don't know. I've gained like fucking 25, 30 pounds. Fucking
dude,
I'm drunker. I drink every fucking day. It's like,
Do you drink during the day?
That's actually
no.
thing
I drink at night. But
that business has flourished.
Yes.
Alcohol companies are doing better than they ever have.
For sure.
So are weed companies.
Well, that's true.
All the states are like, you know what? Let's legalize everything. I want all drugs to be legal. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
Well, fuck it. If you want to kill yourself, kill yourself. It's fine.
I mean, I hear you. It's dangerous. Like I don't disagree. I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment. Like that, I completely understand where you're coming from that, and a lot of me agrees on it. But I just don't think, like, even statewide, never mind nationally, you would ever get enough people to kind of just buy in and agree that everything should be legal. Like,
no way.
Like
I mean, it never come to fruition.
You don't have the support, all the baby boomers smoke weed, right? And they're all 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, right? They but they didn't all just like fucking shoot dope. Like, you're
that's
asking
my generation.
Mr. Cooper did.
That's my generation. We grew up with like cocaine as the
drug. You don't have those people currently in those positions that would really get that across.
Not yet.
You know what I mean?
Not yet.
So it's one of those things. Like I totally.
And I think a lot of the youth are really anti-drug. I think.
I don't know about
this new generation. I mean, what do you guys think? I know a lot of 12-year-olds and stuff, like, just because I'm at that age where I have a child that age, and then like I've got friends that have kids that age, and like
12-year-olds.
My daughter's been telling me a lot of kids are straight edge.
That's when I started getting into fucking
they're 12.
The worst drugs. Like,
yeah, exactly.
13.
But no, I've never done drugs.
Yeah. I think didn't we talked a little bit about this when we had Vegol and Step on the call, right? And fuck you, Vegol. And like it was let me see, it was kind of like some of us, like Sep had started drugs really young. I had started drugs really young. Herb, sounds like you were, the same boat, and it definitely like
7. I
started when I was 6.
That's right. But it really does.
I was
like
16.
being older now, you can tell like it really does kind of change like your path in life. You know what I mean? When you go down that path, the fact that you ladies haven't, like, trust me, you're far better off. Like,
I know.
I tried drugs as an adult. I did not do I was very anti-drugs.
When you do it as a kid, it's totally.
I find that really hard to believe.
I was,
really
dude.
do.
No. Seriously, like, I mean,
Both
I
of you,
grew up.
Harbinger, and
no, like legit. The only like drug I've ever done was weed, and the very first time I ever did it was with Stupid Fast at his house in Texas, and that was like 7 years ago at this point, 6 years ago. So
I only tried hard drugs a year ago.
Really?
A little over a year ago.
I've never
I just smoked weed and drank like my whole life. But I didn't start smoking weed till I was 16. I didn't start drinking till I was 15. And I was very anti. I grew up in the Dare generation, so it's just like,
I did too.
My dad was
Nancy
doing that
Reagan,
shit, and my dad was a dick,
no.
and he's not now, but like he was a dick. So I just had this like association with that, and also the movies scared me. Less Than Zero scared me. Firstborn scared me, like all those Coke movies and the drug movies, Scarface and shit. I was like, oh my God,
Well,
like
Coke
stay away from
Coke
that
is
stuff.
a totally
It's bad.
different. Coke is a totally different story.
Yeah,
it's
like
a totally
my,
different
wanna do
subculture of drug.
I grew up with a cokehead mom, so like just
Yeah, it's a totally different story.
and then of course like addiction to alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, like whether it's prescription or illegal or whatever, like it runs in my family. So that is literally my number one like fear.
Yeah, that's
Hey, Mr. Cooper, what'd you do? When did you start?
I started weed at 17, and then I didn't touch acid or shrooms until my early 20s. But and then I would do a pain pill every now and again for actual pain, but enjoyed the ride. You know, a buddy of mine, when it was back in 2009, I just broken up with my girlfriend. So it's me, my roommate Chad, and then we had another roommate named Paul. And my back was fucking killing. My back is garbage from tattooing. So my roommate Chad's like, "Yo, Watts, take this." I'm like, "What is?" He's like, "It'll help your back." So I take it. And I am in a goddamn coma on my couch, but I'm awake. Like I can barely open my eyes. I can hear everything. My brain is working. It's just my body, none of my muscles would work. I just laid there. And Chad, people would come in and hang out with Chad because he was selling them weed. And they'd be like, "What's up with Watts?" And he'd be like, "Yo, bud, I did that." Come to find out, he gave me a pill called Skalaxin. It relaxes your skeletal muscles. And this shit fucked me up. It was a good ride. Like I was so relaxed, I couldn't even have anxiety about how I felt. Like, you know, you get too high and you fucking freak out and you have like, you know, your chest is pumping and everything. No, this had me so fucking relaxed. I'm just laying there and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm okay with this. but I never did cocaine because I thought that shit was like I'm 45, so you know I was in school, elementary school in the 80s. And then, you know, 93 to 95 was high school. So I never had much involvement with anything hard because I was in like Springtown, Texas, which is outside of Fort Worth and a very rural area. So, you know, with the DARE program, don't do drugs. Well, the only drugs I knew were pain pills, you know, and prescription drugs. They never brought in the board with the crack pipe, the bag of weed, the heroin. We never got that like the bigger city schools did. So I had this fucking no idea about it. And then when I got in high school, it was like the really trashy kids, like the girls with the big hair that still had big hair in 94 were the ones doing cocaine. You know, the girls that had the wave. But I just associated
the fan
in the
90s.
Cocaine was not very popular. Then wasn't it a speed that everyone was into in the 90s at schools?
I went to a city school when we moved back to New York in 93, and it was still sort of a rural school. And then when I went to my senior year, I was like straight up it was my first time having Black co-students. It was my first time being around city people. And that's when I, you know, started to realize the drugs are being used. But the really trashy girls did cocaine, and I wasn't cool with cocaine. Like I had sinus issues, so I never wanted to put shit in my nose, but I always associated it with those shitty 80s movies. Like that shit should have gone out of style, like Michael Jackson leather Beat It jackets, you know? Fuck that. That wasn't for me. But then, you know, then we were also in the 90s. So with the alternative music scene, the grunge scene, the resurgence of punk, heroin came back like a motherfucker. Heroin
came back big time,
I knew kids that were already starting off stories like, "Yo, dude, this one time I was shooting up heroin," and you're just like, "I'm gonna listen to this." and it was more common than not to hear the talk about heroin. As for speed, I don't ever think I've met anybody that was
in my
on
school.
Speed
It was. I went to a private Catholic school in high school in
that
LA,
does it.
And they were all doing speed. I wasn't, but apparently they were.
Acid was huge in my school. Like I got expelled from. I had to go. It was either go to jail or go to rehab because I got caught selling acid in high school.
Like so, acid. Herb, you and I are the exact same person. So at 15 years old, I was selling acid, ecstasy, shrooms.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. It was it was such a eye-opening experience. Like I wouldn't trade it for the fucking world. But here I am, you know, like I have this crazy ass Twitter account where I'm 7 and my life, you know, I'm fucking.
I think you did you good. I think you're a perfect person being you're like imperfect fruit. All of us are.
That being said, I fucking loved acid. The times that I did,
I agree. No,
it's like I think everyone should do it. I've heard that it would.
I've never
I
done
haven't.
it.
Everyone should do it.
I told Billy if I ever do it, I'm flying across the country. I'm doing it with him because he grows his own.
Right now, here in Hamilton.
I got so sick of it though. Like I did it so much that we're like, by the time I was 17 or 18, I was just like, man, I don't like this shit anymore. And plus, it was fucking laced with like speed, and I don't like speed at all. I can't fucking stand it.
No, there was like I basically so you're like me. Like I basically trip myself out. Like I just like nope. But and I've tweeted about it before. But so I was selling all that stuff, and I ended up in jail, like you just said, like rehab or jail. So I ended up in jail for selling drugs.
Yeah.
How old were you?
No, I for sure went. I almost went to jail for it. Sorry, Juddy. Go ahead.
No. How old was I? Doesn't matter. But I was. Yeah. Yeah.
He was 7.
It was
last year. Got it.
No, not quite. It was a few years. It was a few years ago. Let's put it that way.
So it was 2 years ago. Got it.
God
Let's
bless
go.
you, sir.
Yeah. But no, so I got arrested with a lot of ecstasy pills on me, and the statute of limitations has far run out on this story, so I don't mind telling it. But I was arrested with a bunch of ecstasy pills, and they happened to be bagged up. I had this passport pouch that my mother had bought me before I went overseas and traveled around the world and stuff. And so I had this little passport pouch that went under your like pants and everything else. And I used to put my pills in there. So when I got arrested, I was put in the back of an undercover squad car, which was huge because a standard squad car doesn't have openings in the seats. But I was in an undercover car, which was just a regular car. So I was handcuffed in the back seat with 2 officers in the front, driver and passenger. While they were there, I reached around, my hands were handcuffed behind me. I reached around the side of me, opened up the passport thing, grabbed, because I had them all bagged up, like in like larger bags, grabbed the bags, jammed them underneath the back of the squad car seat. And I just reached down and I felt the bags just drop. And I'm like, okay, that's my only chance. And then when we got to the police station, I stood up out of the car and looked behind me and realized that, like, I don't know, 3 pills or whatever it was had fallen out of my pocket and were sitting right on the seat of the car. So I pretended to fall back and it fell back into the car and dumped those 3 in the back. I went in, they strip searched me. They saw the pouch that I was wearing with the passport pouch, but there was nothing in it. And 6 hours later, I was released. But what they got me on was I apparently had given a pill to an undercover police officer, which I swear I never did anything like that. However, they happened to find their marked $20 bill on me. And I'm like, I don't know how that got there. And so because I didn't acknowledge anything, they were like, slammer time. I was like, damn it.
Nowadays, when they arrest people, after they take you out of the car, they search their cop car. You're so lucky, man.
Really?
That's what
This was a long time ago.
Up now. Oh yeah, but nowadays, from people I know from tattooing, I get people that are like, "Hey, man, I'm a scumbag. Listen to this story." But the cops now that the back seat is made that they can lift it up and look, or it's also
Plastic.
made so that where your feet are, that you can't put your feet under the front seat. It's like rounded. So
listen,
that's how
for-
ours
so-
are. Like the back seats are basically just plastic benches, and there's
Yeah.
like
Now I feel
There's
left
no
out
place-
that I haven't in
So-
the back of a cop car. What the
Well,
fuck?
So
you
for
need to do that
for
now.
15
years.
Now you need to do that. Now
I
you
mean,
need to
Hang on.
do
yeah,
that.
you don't have to be arrested to be in the back of a cop
Right, you
car.
can
I'm just
just-
saying.
You can get in one.
I'll just like hit
Find
on
one
a
who wants
cop
to
and,
cheat on
like,
his wife.
blow him.
There you go. There you go. Find one that wants to cheat. I will tell you this,
Just be like,
Jim.
oh, this
Jim.
is very interesting.
So Jim, so for 15 years, I worried about it. It was always in the back of my head because, I got arrested. So obviously they have my fingerprints, and my fingerprints were definitely on the bags that I jammed in the back of the fucking seat. So like, if they did search the car and they just ran a fingerprint on it, there's only one person's thumbprint right on the fucking side of this bag. I swear to God. And there's a bunch of bags. Like, you got a whole big sample size here. You're gonna get one. And you already got my prints on record. So for 15 years, that shit was like, I just wait for the fucking knock on the door one of these days. Be like, hey, guess what we found? I'd be like, fuck. Like, fuck.
And up
But
on
when the statute,
episode of
I legit
Cold Case.
kept my eye on the 15-year statute of limitations on that. And when the fucking day hit, I went to the bar and I got fucking drunk because I was like, fuck yeah.
Wow. Isn't
they're
it
patrolmen,
crazy?
They're not that smart. Let's fingerprint these bags. They probably didn't give a shit.
If I was a better person, I'd work for the police and be like, hey, let me tell you all the things that you're fucking missing. But you know what? I'm not that good of a person.
I mean, you don't have to be a good.
never do that.
It's painfully obvious you don't have to be a good person to work for the police.
It is
Obviously, I'd be a good
100%
person to
true.
Be friends with you.
Just saying, like a lot of the
So-
scumbags work for the police.
Mostly,
Do you guys-
Most of the scumbags, yeah.
I do want to actually genuinely say this. I did have a great time with you guys this season. So, except for Lily, but everybody else, like really, like I would
like to reiterate that sentiment there. Whatever, I
Except
don't
for
even
Lily?
know if that's the worst. Yeah, except for Lily, everything's been great.
It's okay because Judy refers to me as royalty. So, and that is filmed. It is recorded. It's on like the first episode. So
that shit was
Yes.
edited.
That first episode was 4 hours long. I think we've done much better since then on trying to cap the time.
Yeah, 4 hours is too long, dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
brought that up.
1
today.
hour is enough.
we got
Yeah, I
to
brought that up.
drinking
It didn't
and
feel
talking.
like 4 hours though. It felt
We got
like
to-
an hour.
It was just the three of us. We got to drinking and talking and reminiscing. And yeah.
Oh God.
Well, 10 years of Twitter is a
Bitch,
long.
you're a part of
takes
it.
a
Shut
long
the
time
fuck
to
up, Judy.
unpack.
No,
Acting
Do you
like
guys
you don't
remember-
have any
do you guys
fucking
remember
say.
who we had on after Hurt?
No,
We're
Who was the special guest after Hurt?
Was that
Hot milk?
Hot
Hot
milk?
Milf.
As Milfy.
Is it
Hot
Hope? Is it
milk.
Hope or Hot?
oh, you know what? I
It's
do want to say
It's
Hot
Hope.
Milk. Hot Milk, the first Hawaiian on the show, ergo the best Hawaiian.
She was the
True,
first
the
Hawaiian
first.
on the show.
Just want to bring that up
She
too.
was the first.
She was
that's
the
for
first.
sure. That was
Fuck
a
you,
great
veg all.
conversation.
I love Tasha so
she's
much.
like really incredible. Had always wanted to talk to her, and like having Herb too. Like I just have to say, like I was so stoked. Like I feel like I've gotten to know you, and I've always wanted to know you, and like I think you're fucking amazing too. So like, aw.
Well, I've listened to every podcast, and plus, like, I this is fun for me. Like, I love it when I can be just text one of you guys or DM you and be like, "Hey, put me on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go."
Well, did you hear what I said? Like after, I don't know if you heard that, but I think season 3 we're gonna be doing a lot of, sort of like it reminds me of the Pee Wee Herman show. He'd be just doing his thing, and then ding dong, oh, who's that at the door? And then you've got your choice of people to let in. So you've inspired me actually, and I would say I got the idea from you doing this, like wanting to, hey, let me get in. And it's like, I actually like this idea. This is fun. And it's like, we are not a planned show. I had a script in the beginning just to try to keep us on track. And then it was just like, fuck tracks. And I think that,
it was weird because we went from zero format whatsoever to ultra strict format, and which was the intros were way too fucking long, and then we went to like, all right, I'm gonna do intros and then fuck the format. Let's just go.
The intros turn into one sentence.
No, but you know what was good though is that the like the quote unquote script, and it was it was like a page long. But it gave us some structure to kind of like keep the conversation moving forward. You know what I mean? Like it was that I thought that like just one pager was a perfect thing to have in case you needed to kind of get back to the talk track. Like it was like if it was a 10-page script, we'd never follow it,
yeah, for sure.
But it did.
Yeah, but
really
where's the challenge in that?
It helped us.
That makes us keep us on our toes, and then we have to keep our A game up.
Yeah, and for anyone that's like watching that wants a peek behind the curtain, like it's very much a learning each other's chemistry type thing, because in all actuality, like the only common denominator with any of these people is me, because I'm friends with Eve, I'm friends with Juddy, I'm friends with
No, you're not.
Cooper. Shut the fuck up, Judy. But none of them were like friends together.
Wrong. I've been friends with Eve.
Well, yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yes,
a little bit.
We have
like
definitely.
He hasn't been in your.
It's ramped up. It's definitely ramped up.
You guys do have history. All right, I'll give you that. You guys do have history.
Yeah, but Harbinger is the glue though. Which was something weird that was. I think Judy is the one that brought that to my attention early on. I'm like,
it's true though. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for you.
Right? Like I was
you guys,
I was making fun of
I don't know any
Lily.
of you guys.
Shut the fuck up.
And Lily's actually like
because I was like,
Lily
hey,
like saves
everybody
this
else
fucking
DMs
show
each other
sometimes.
or whatever else. I'm like, you text them. Like you text you know everybody.
I don't know everyone. It's just everyone thinks they know me. There's a difference.
No,
that's the difference right there.
But like there have been times where I have just like have not had the most energy to do the show, and like Lily is definitely like saved us, and like during times where I'm just like I can't think of something to say, and like you always have come in, and like Juddy too, and Cooper, you guys have been such great co-hosts, because I was season 1, it was just myself, like, and then toward the end Lily would come on, and we would and that's how it got to season 2, and it's just like having all of you has been like really amazing. I think that we all are so different that we're all alike too, but we do bring like a different viewpoint, and I think that's been really evident in the Step and Sink episode, if you guys remember that.
Oh my god, do we want to delve into that one?
We have to, because that was the guest after Hot MILF, and I have to get more bourbon.
Oh
yeah, so I want to abolish a rumor that I've heard about Sink, that he took Joanna's money from all that shit. Is that
is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking existence. Like, let me explain something about Rick.
He never even had the money.
Never. He had no access to it. Like that, it was 100% put in a trust for Ari by Dawn.
Joanna, as Joanna was dying, she set up the special bank account that people could donate into. Nobody but her and her sister and sister's wife had access to it.
100%.
Okay. I believe never. I always knew it couldn't have been true. If it was, like, that would be the worst. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out
and that's the things that like about Sync, like all 100% kidding aside, like Rick is one of the most genuine and closest friends I have, and same with Jim. I mean, like, we've broken bread together, we've hung out with each other. He was there for me, and like
I've met his mom in real life.
You have met his mom. I didn't get a chance to meet his mom, but like I've like
he was around so much more way before I ever joined Twitter. And,
I mean,
and I always knew that, like you, Lily, you always fought with him and Sep and like everybody, every time everybody would, and Poop Dragon,
Oh, I miss Poopy.
And they would all be like, whatever. It was just, everybody always hated Sync.
I mean, that was by design.
Yeah,
well, I knew
that was just character, you know.
It's his character. Yeah. I mean, but like Rick is like legitimately one of like the best human beings I've ever met. Period.
Yeah, sure.
Like
No,
period.
he is absolutely not.
Shut the fuck up, Judy. You piece of shit.
when we set up the GoFundMe for the shop, because like we had no idea what this pandemic was going to do. Was it going to rob me and my wife of everything we've put ourselves and our lives into? I got a donation for Rick sent me a significant donation. I'm not going to say the amount because it's really not, for the viewers, but Rick straight up sent it, and it was all he had to say was Merry Christmas. Like, I never would have expected that. And like when we were doing our donation drives at the shop, because we raised, foodstuffs and animal foods to help out people that are in need. Rick drove, he lived about half an hour away from me when he was up here, when his lady was working at Starbucks. His lady's high up in Starbucks. So they were brought up here to live in Canada for a while as permanent residents on her work visa through Starbucks. He would drive at least twice a month out to see me to drop off big bags of dog food to help out people in Hamilton, which is a whole different city than what he was living in. Like, he came out, he brought food, he brought clothing. Like, he'd make his daughters go and like clean out their closets for donations and stuff. And, as much as he had that lovable asshole persona, he's in real life, he is a real lovable asshole.
He is a real asshole.
No, he really is. Yeah.
He was a real cocksucker though on Twitter. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
100%.
Yeah. And we got to see that on the show.
But he turns that on and he can turn it off. It's
absolutely. 100%.
Well, it was Sepp and Lily and a couple other guys. I can't remember who I was so fucking terrified of when I first started on Twitter. It was just like, oh man, here they are.
Yeah. Sepp's my boy.
Where are you? Where are you?
Sepp was like the peacemaker on that show.
Detroit? Are you in Detroit?
Mr. Cooper's in Canada.
I'm in Canada. I
live
in
Detroit?
A city. Actually, yes. I am closer to Detroit than anybody else in this room.
Yes,
Detroit is about, Tanya, how far is Detroit from? About 2 hours? It's about an hour past London.
It's like 4 loonies, is what they would say.
4 loonies, a couple toonies. Like,
I'm about 6. I'm about
a cooler
6
bud.
Hours, where I'm at, I'm about 6 hours from Detroit, but I am 1 hour away from Niagara Falls, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then my hometown is on the other side of Syracuse, New York. So it's about 4 hours from where I live in Canada. I drove 4 hours to go into a whole other country.
Mm-hmm.
But Detroit is, Tanya says about 6 hours. I haven't been. I've been to Detroit before, but not from here.
Yeah, because you're about a 45-minute drive from Kurt's house.
Yeah, Kurt's in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I used to make a trek once a year up to the north to visit my squad fam up there. So I would hang out at Kurt's.
Recall the pictures.
Yep, I would hang out at Kurt's house. Kurt is Count Grip Snatch for those that remember who that is. So
now he's Corn Dog Hospital.
Oh yeah, he is Corn Dog. I can't remember what the fuck his handle is anymore. I don't know anyone's handles anymore. Corn Dog Hospital. Is who the Count Grip Snatch is now. So I'd like hang out with him, and then whenever he'd go to like work, I'd go across the border to Canada and visit Jim and Tanya, and Rick would come over because he was living close by. And once or twice we met up with Dan. So
we we can't even tell the story because Dan has that side.
I mean, you can as long as you don't allude to what specifics.
And without the specifics, it just doesn't make the story.
It's not as much fun.
It was that one detail that
made it funny.
that made us.
Yeah, there's a lot of inside jokes between Cooper and I. So,
you hit a dinger, you get a cooler.
Hit a dinger, get a cooler, bud.
Yeah, buddy. Get a cooler, buddy.
So the Separateness was on that episode with Sync, and that was a really he was the peacemaker, and I know Jetty had to go do his
wife.
His wife.
He had to go fuck his wife because
Dirty
Mrs.
deeds.
Juddy was
Looked
over
at him
it.
in a certain way, and that was over. So, but did you watch the rest of that episode, Judy? Did you see the rest of all the shit we talked about you?
So I will say this: I have never listened back to any episode of any podcast I've done. So
I stopped doing that after episode, I think 5.
Yeah, I
was just judging myself too much.
I've heard all the bad things about it, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I remember, what I remember.
Anytime you want.
Say that again.
I can tell you how much you suck anytime you want me to.
There you go. So it's Mrs.
Thank you,
Juddy
Mrs.
Juddy.
I love you.
Like it's.
No, we weren't talking shit at all. I was just joking.
No,
but
it was just
it was
no. So I did have to abruptly end, which kind of sucked. But like, it like as much as I do rag on Vegol, I do actually enjoy like ragging on him and having fun. Like my favorite thing that of that whole episode for me personally was when I dropped his back was to the camera and I was like, and he was complaining that he wasn't the first Hawaiian. And I'm like, well, I just figured you people talk to each other. His back was to the camera. He just flips 2 birds up on both sides. And I was like, that was perfect. Like that was
that kind of started it actually. Now that you mention it, that got him sort of agitated at that point because you didn't know.
What started it was fucking Sepp, the little instigator.
Yeah, you're right. No. Sepp was like, wait,
he didn't mean to, but he meant to.
That's what. Yes, that was the moment.
Yeah,
but
you're like,
Sepp was already on edge.
He was lighting fires.
No, he was lighting fires because he knew how Rick was going to react.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how Rick is going to react because we've had literally 6-hour-long conversations where he just like goes off about said topic that I will not name, but like he will just go off, and we all know this about him. He will just go the fuck off because he's so passionate about it. And then of course Sepp like immediately just like, hey, what are your thoughts on? I'm like, oh no, here we go.
Herp will understand this. All right, Herp, if you do enough acid, you do enough thinking for 1,000 people, right? So like Sepp has done plenty of acid. Sepp is a master manipulator when it comes to the human thought. Okay, he is a master.
I love him so much.
And like it is true, and he knows 100%. It. And I hope he fucking listens to this because I'm calling your fucking ass out. Damn it! Like I see you. Like no. So, but he's really, really good at it. He knew Sepp knew exactly what he was doing 5 steps before the conversation happened. Like he knew it, and it landed right where he wanted.
Then he saw the end, and then he took it.
Oh yeah, he knew it because then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the moderator here." I'm like, "Motherfucker, that's exactly what you've been trying to set up this whole time." I see you.
That's genius. That's genius. It really is.
Anyone that remembers old school Twitter, like when Sepp had his account as Sepp, like that's what he would do, just like to get a rise out of people, and people be like so mad. They're like, "Be mad!"
And I'm like,
"Be mad,
Sepp,
motherfucker!"
I'm like, Sepp, I'm trying to have a conversation here, Sepp, because I'm just feeding into his whole like, because him and I are both kind of on the same page. Like, Rick, we're kind of picking on you right now. Rick, can you hear us? Hey, Rick, hello. But Rick was like,
he like once he reaches this certain point, there's no point of stopping. That's why I was just sitting here like I couldn't say anything because I was laughing the entire time because I'm like I knew where this was going to end up.
What had me laughing is the motherfucker printed out Juddy's face.
He did.
Yeah, right.
He printed out Judy's face.
Rick.
Okay.
Rick
was fucking hilarious.
Rick was yelling at me for having myself on mute, and I'm like, dude, I'm on mute because I'm laughing.
And using the sling blade, Abby. The sling blade, Abby.
That was the funniest thing when he started out with
the double sling blade, Abby.
I did not.
We're the last one to see that, Lily.
He's got the picture. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like I didn't see that. And he called it out right off the bat.
I didn't see that.
Eve, when you were reading the intro, he called it out right because you're like this episode's brought to you by Vegol, And before you could get the next word out, he's like, "Oh, you low-hanging fruit motherfuckers." I'm like, "All right, dude, we're gonna have one of these nights."
And that was an inside
It's
joke
on.
I was not even aware of.
It's on.
You guys tell me to do something, I'm like, okay.
No, but like it was this. It needed to happen.
I knew it was going to be something significant. I was like, I don't even need to know if there's a veg all. This is some funny shit that's going to happen.
I loved how they tried to blame me for the failures of their own podcast. Like I'm in charge.
It's not it's his.
They chose to have me on as a guest. What I was trying to do was save his podcast. All right. I extended it for that many more episodes before it would have fucking died. Hi, Rick.
Speaking of that, after you left, Juddy, him and Sep were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make our own podcast. And it's literally just going to be us like saying how much your podcast sucks. We're
just going to be critiquing the E-cast.
We're going to watch Even Friends. And then we're just going to critique it.
This is the best.
Okay, yeah, well, listen, when you're not good at this, then the only thing you can do is critique others on it. So we're the broadcasters.
Yes.
They're the
Sign
newspaper.
me up.
I would totally watch that.
And no one reads a fucking newspaper anymore, so they can have a great time doing that.
Sign me the fuck up. I need.
I get people telling me I suck all the time. Like, there's just. If you want to make an entire podcast about it, that's fine.
No, you and I both have that in common with our work.
People telling you suck all the time. Are you kidding me? I'm married to an Irish woman. What do you think I do every day?
I told you suck all the time. And then you come on here and I tell you suck all the time. So, yeah. I think you're addicted to the pain.
Jesus.
So who do we have on after Step and Sink, you guys?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Yes, I think it was Cooper and Judy were out sick that day, and me and Lily took on Dick Ferrari.
Ferrari!
I fucking missed it.
He fucked.
We took him on. We tag teamed
him. We double teamed Dick Ferrari.
Double teamed the Dick.
It worked out though because he's always with hot babes. There was no reason for me or Juddy. He's with hot babes, and that worked. It totally worked. While
I don't know why I was there then.
Making cash.
It was a fun episode.
Dick Ferrari fucks, man,
I love you, Lily, for wearing the fucking the headband that you did. I did like neon makeup. Yeah. Oh, when I first came on and you were there with it. Oh, I was so happy. I was like, oh.
I loved how Dick Ferrari always said, "You betcha."
Yeah.
You betcha. He totally did. That was probably like the weirdest conversation we had, in my opinion, just simply because it was like half in character of Dick Ferrari and half like not just the dude. Yeah. So it was like very hard to distinguish where he was going.
Right. I was fun to kind of get to know him.
He really
I didn't know
is
him
like.
at all.
Do you guys think he's really like? I've seen pictures of him like, or. Like
we really
pictures
accidentally saw him.
With
we did accidentally see him.
So we don't podcast and tell.
Yeah, we don't. So anyone that goes on, with like an Avi, like we have like a prep like 15 to 30 minutes before where like there's no Avi, so we get to see people. We don't tell people about it. So. His was accidental, though. He didn't mean
to. I think he's the real. That's really him behind his Abby. I think that really is him. It's not
to a degree. You're not wrong. So yeah, to a degree, you are correct, sir.
All right. So
he's a handsome devil, though. I'll tell you that.
Let me tell you, the coolest thing about that fucking guy is that what was it, Lily? That his like sister's brother went to school with Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Kaczynski, or not Kaczynski, but fucking what? Yeah, Bundy.
Yeah.
Bundy was a little shit on the playground. Was always
like he has connections to a couple serial killers, and he's a tattoo
artist.
He
was playing in the woods when the Green River Killer was doing his shit.
Yeah.
And he like saw some weird shit in the woods. That's a crazy episode, actually. if you
That
guys
is
haven't
crazy.
seen it.
Like if
It was
you
only
guys have an
It's
hour to
totally worth it.
spend, like it was,
Yeah.
it went in a direction I did not feel it was going to go into at first.
And he's a tattoo artist.
He is a tattoo artist. I had no
about
idea
that.
about that because you had the pre-interview with him and you brought that up. I'm like, I had no fucking clue. You do what? Hold on a second. I thought all you did was like sidewalk supremacy and caterpillar fucking what the hell are they called?
He lives behind a
Yeah,
strip
those.
club.
I thought
And
he
he lives
drove an
behind a
IROC
strip
and drank
club.
Natty Ice.
Thank you. Hey, I
Yes,
thought
Fuck
and Natty
yeah.
Ice.
Fuck yeah,
Nat-
Mr. Coop.
Nat-
That's what's up.
Natty Ice and strip clubs. That's all I thought. But like he legitimately like does tattoos and shit.
Oh,
And like
shit.
he's covered up gang Of course we have a Natty
You are
Ice.
drinking Natty Ice. I love it.
All right, wait.
That's so gross.
I have something to share, and
Please.
this pains me to do it.
You want to
Oh, God.
So I explained to Mrs. Juddy how stupid Lily was wearing a sloth shirt tonight, and so stupid Mrs. Juddy is like, "Oh, hang on. Can you?
All I see are
wait.
boobs. That's all I see are
Can you
boobs.
show? Can you show? This is the sloth."
Oh, that's
So stupid Mrs. Juddy was like, "You should put this shirt on, and you can be
thank
twinsies."
you, Lily.
All
That was
right,
the
hold
best
on.
moment on the whole podcast ever. I'm sorry. That was
Yes! Happy Sloth Company. Twinsies!
oh my
Not okay.
Totally
Not
okay.
okay at all.
100%
That is
okay.
amazing. I love it.
I saw
That's
it.
where we got the sloth thing
I saw
from.
it.
Herp, Jetty's wife was saying at the end, like after the 4-hour convo or something, she was like, "Save the sloths" or something like that. It was something to
Yeah.
do with.
Well, what it was is like when you were
Tell me.
putting together like the closing credits or the opening, I don't know what it was, but you were asking like, well, Judy, what do you want to promote? And in comes Mrs. Juddy like, save the sloths.
That's exactly what happened.
So we've just been saying save the sloths ever since because I love her.
Well, and I think it has been very, mysterious. And now if you watch the whole season, now you know why the fuck we chose that. Who knows what we'll want to save next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was how we used to say that it's about your mom too, like this podcast. I actually had this like idea of the last episode being where each had our moms on, and then I realized that's probably not the best idea. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have my mom on. And then I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, I've seen your show. Don't you dare do that because they will rip her apart. I
love your mom.
My
I'll definitely
mom is
listen.
available right now.
No,
My mom
like-
is available.
My mom is I love her to death. I'm not going to talk shit about her right now. I'm just saying that she's she's
Little
very
buttoned up.
She wouldn't be able to survive an episode with us. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I'll
She would
rip
not.
them apart. I'm
my mom
girthy.
would fuck. My mom would fuck on you.
I want your mom on
would.
here. I
Huh?
want your mom on here.
She
let's
needs
get
to
your
be
mom
on.
on
We need
here.
to get Herp's mom on here.
Yeah, would you invite her? Why don't you send her an email?
Send her an
Can't do
invite
it
to the
now.
Zoom.
No. Wait.
I saw a picture of Herp's mom. She looks like a goddamn saint.
I know.
She-
Let's get her on. Come
She
on, her.
fucks,
Let's
man.
do
She
it.
fucks for real. Like,
right,
I
let's
can't
do
even
it.
believe it. Like,
Send her the
she's
invite.
awesome.
My mom's
I don't know
dead.
how
I
to do
have her
that, like-
ashes in my closet. Like I could bring her on the show next season. Just have her sitting right here.
Let's start off next
It
season
doesn't
with
sound
her,
like
me
that
and my
would
mom.
be yeah, do it. I'm serious.
and my mom.
We've never
Maybe
had a
make it
mom
talk.
on here, and we should do that because my mom is just she's too innocent. That's the best thing I could say.
She's
just
kind of
too
buttoned up.
Wait a minute. Did you
Yeah.
just say you've never had a mom on here?
I've never had a mom on here on the show. I wanted
You mean
to.
one of? You mean like?
Yeah. One of our moms. Because in the
Okay.
beginning, I used to say it's about, what was it? Sex, horror, the arts, and your mom. Just to be funny. Just to slip that in there.
Slip
Yeah,
that
my
in there.
mom-
That's what he.
my mom
that's what he
Although
said.
we didn't
That's why I
talk
slipped
about
it in
like
there.
any of that.
We never talked about moms. I
We
know.
never
That
talked
was
about
why I was like,
moms.
I know.
We're talking about it now. We're talking about your mom right now.
Your mom.
So if anyone has a
sucks.
mom that wants to come on the show, we'll send you.
Yes,
the
let's
Zoom
interview a mom.
Let's do
You're not
it
getting mine.
for,
I don't talk to that fucking mom.
Cooper's
Yeah.
like, no.
I mean, I don't talk to mine either. She's in a box in my closet, so you know.
I haven't talked to my mom in since 2008.
Well, I'm sure there's
2003
a good
for me.
reason. There you go.
Your mom really
You guys
died.
both did the same
Mine's
like
just dead
angle.
to me.
Just dead to you. My mom would be dead to me, but then she actually died. So I'm like, wow, double score.
I've got
Right.
mine in a box with a tennis ball on top of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because she
My,
used to
my mom.
love
My mom is
chasing
my mom
tennis
is a
balls.
good Christian woman. She's not coming on this show.
My mom
That's what
claimed to be
mine
a
is
Christian,
too,
but was
Jetty.
not good. But like Eve's mom is
Mine
legit
is-
like a good Christian woman. She's like, she would have none of this.
She just worries. She doesn't like being in my house because of all the satanic shit, you know. And I tell her, I'm like, you know, I'm cool with Jesus, but I'm cool with Lucifer too, you know. It's like not a big deal. But she's
Neither
very,
of them
like,
exist.
no.
So
Thank
what does she
you.
have to worry about?
I was about to say, but neither exist. They're both like Santa. So,
This is just what I say to my mom.
I do love Eve's mom though.
I
I've met
obviously
her.
don't,
She's pretty awesome. So
No,
She's
she's
like-
a sweetheart. She is.
she is
She's
a
just
super
not,
sweetheart.
like-
It's just like philosophically we don't agree on a whole lot.
Right. But I thought she would have some like, you know, funny stories to review. Like she could roast me if she was that kind of a mom, like because she has all these embarrassing funny stories like to say
I'll
about
roast
me,
you.
which I thought would be funny. But
You can just share them anyway without your
You'll
mom.
roast
That's
me.
fine. Just go ahead. That's fine.
Rotisserie style.
yeah.
What are you waiting for? This is your outlet, Eve. Eve, this is your outlet. Feel free.
It is
you are
my
in a
outlet.
safe space.
I think the first episode of season 3 should be a roast of me because that's going to be April 30th is my birthday. I'm going to be 45 just like old Mr. Cooper.
My birthday is next Sunday.
No one cares.
Oh my god.
No one gives a
But
shit.
we need
I'll
to
be
do
seven.
something.
I'll be
No one
seven
fucking
in
cares.
June.
Fuck you, you 7-year-old piece of shit.
I'll be 7 on June
Sending
7th.
you nudes.
Yes.
She's already
So
flashing her
send your
titties.
nudes to me by next Sunday. I think that's
Put it
Easter
on our
Sunday.
OnlyFans
My
with our
birthday
fucking
is
feet.
Easter Sunday, everyone.
Oh,
Lily,
how
Lily.
sacrilegious.
Yeah, Jesus died so you could
I can't
live,
see what
all
that
right?
is.
What is
And that was
that?
his
It's a-
biggest mistake.
I can't see it. It's all
What's
shiny.
going on? What are
I
we
don't
doing?
know. He's showing me something. I don't know what it is though.
CBW,
Oh.
Courage and
CBW!
Wrestling.
Yes, Courage Pro Wrestling. Yay! It's
they
an
finally-
independent Canadian wrestling promotion. I'm a big fan of wrestling for anyone who doesn't know, especially independent. So
I got your
It's important
address, so
to-
I will be shipping this out soon. They got it to me, so I can get it to you.
Hey,
all right,
Lily,
CP Dub.
Lily,
what's up?
have you heard of wrestling? It's
Wrestling?
Barstool Sports podcast. I'll send you a link.
I've heard of it,
I've
but I've
heard of
never
it.
listened to it. I've never
I
listened
love
to
the
it,
guy.
but yeah.
It's Brandon Walker. He's a great guy. You'll love
Yeah.
it.
I
You're a
do. I
great
like.
guy.
I'm a big fan of wrestling. So, like, about.
Have you been into that your whole life, Lily?
Well, yes and no. Like when I was a teenager, of course, like Attitude Era, WWF, WWE stuff, when like there was bra and panty matches and all that kind of shit. That stuff was, yeah, like that was the shit. And then as you grow up, you kind of like fall out of it. But
Right.
there was someone that like was in my living room and we were flipping channels like, hey, what's that? I'm like, oh, that's just wrestling. Let's watch that. I'm like, okay. And it kind of like it sucked me right back the fuck in. And then like a couple years ago, like I went to this live event. It was the AEW like All Out in Chicago with someone I'd never met. I just met him through Twitter and he's like, I bought these 2 tickets. Who wants to buy the other one? I'm like, I'll buy the other one. I'll fucking go with you. That's fine. And we clicked immediately. Like he's like one of my best buds, like Brian Maxwell. He's awesome. And when we got back, like we would obsessively talk about wrestling. And within the past year, he has not only integrated himself into the indie wrestling promotion, but he wrestles, he does shows, he has his own wrestling promotion. So I'm like all about the independent wrestlers. Like I support them. Like,
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Like when COVID hit, I'm like, all right, I'm sending money to all the tip jars. Like I'm buying all your t-shirts. Like that's like, I did everything I could do when COVID hit because the ones that like gave up their jobs to do just indie wrestling, like they would travel throughout the entire country and just do shows. But when you can't do that, literally zero income, and there's no help for you. You can't draw unemployment because you're not officially a worker. So there's no help for you whatsoever. Right. You're strictly living off the kindness of others at that point. And good luck trying to find a job in the middle of COVID. Like even trying to like flip burgers at fucking McDonald's, like no one was fucking hiring for that. So yeah, wow. Like I'm super into like wrestling, and yeah, Brian has like really sucked me into.
I want to.
You'll love that. What? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say something inappropriate to her, which was very, very sexist and drunken of me.
Which is normal.
It's just
everyday conversation.
Because I was on the first episode, which was pretty bad, but I'm not gonna show my boobs today.
Oh yeah, you did show your boobs. Yes, everyone. She showed her boobs on the first episode.
On the first episode, because all it took was for Cooper to be like, I like big boobs, little boobs. I'm like,
she's like, okay, boobs.
And YouTube is
so
not.
You like boobs, you say?
Fast forward to the.
I have some.
If you're gonna quote me, the word was titties. TIDDIES.
That is
it's
the
a
truth.
D,
Titties.
Right?
Titties with two D's.
Not with a T.
It's sexist
no
if you write it with if it's TITTY.
Oh my
that's
God,
sexist.
Yeah, it has to be double D's up in the titties.
Show your dick. Show your. Oh, sorry.
Is he pissing?
Herp, were you talking about Barstool Rough and Rowdy earlier?
I wasn't talking.
Did you hint at that?
Yeah. What?
Did you hint at that?
Not the Rough and Rowdy. It was
right?
a Barstool Wrestling podcast, is what I was hinting at. But yeah, Rough and Rowdy is fucking. But Rough and Rowdy is that shit is crazy.
Have you seen that?
I haven't been to it, but it's on YouTube. If you look it up, Barstool Rough and Rowdy. It's just a bunch of crazy ass motherfuckers from like West Virginia.
They are fucking crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I had a conscience.
No, so this is like UFC, like on crack cocaine or something. Like it is insane. Yeah, it's insane. It is a bunch of just like people off the street that fight each other, and they wear like. You can wear jeans. You can wear cowboy boots. You can like
anything goes.
No one. Like it is madness. So if you like wrestling, like you might like this because it's kind of like real people, real wrestling, boxing, but not real.
I'm not interested in people actually hurting each other.
They have like
it's not like that.
They have a midget title.
The latest.
Y'all are
accidental is hysterical though, but yeah.
The latest one was Jose Canseco. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Jose Canseco, right?
But they have a midget.
And he was like, this last Rough and Rowdy. It was put on by Barstool. It was in fucking West Virginia or some shit, and but anyways, like they had all these fights leading up to it, and they were all great. And it was like $20 you could pay in for the pay-per-view, and it was totally worth it. Like just these guys, totally worth it. It was totally. I mean, it was the best shit I've ever seen. And then fucking, it was this big lead up. Like I listen to this podcast, Pardon My Take, all the time, and it's Dan and PFP commenter. But anyways, like they have this intern, his name's Billy, and he's like 20 years old, and he's a fucking total just like beefhead, you know, and like fucking, and he's training to fight Jose Canseco, who has been on the professional circuit before, and they finally run this whole bullshit, and and Jetty, you know, this is where I'm going with it. Like he fucking fell down, you know, like fucking, but they sold like, you know, over like 200 million worth of fucking pay-per-views. Sorry, I got this game going on. But and then anyways, Jose just falls down.
Yeah.
And totally just like made 2 million off these guys. And so it was stupid.
So like, is it celebrities all the time, or is it just like random ass people in someone's backyard?
This is like backyard, you know, like her saying,
like bum fights.
Like
I'm drunk.
I was gonna say that.
Like bum fights with non-bums.
But yeah, like stereotypical West Virginia.
Fight
you know what I mean?
Like
okay.
Kind of it's the wild whites of the West Virginia. Okay, got it.
And then like it's crazy because like they go through like they have these midgets fighting, they have these crazy people fighting, and then they end with like a fight that actually looks like a real fight.
But it's not.
But it is going to be though, because since Jose Canseco took a dive, he made over $2 million for less than 13 seconds on this shit, and that's real fucking money. And like Barstool is fucking is doing this shit now. So now people are going to, you know, actually sign up, you know, whatever that's.
I signed up.
I wouldn't pay for it, but I'd watch it.
I mean, well, you can find $20 to watch. $20 to watch. I've never paid to watch a fight in my life. I don't think, and fucking to watch Jose Canseco get beat down by like this Barstool kid. I was like, fuck yeah, man. It was the best 20. And then watching the preliminaries and all that, it was nuts.
The thing, like, you pay $20 and you get like an insane number of fights for $20, and there's no commercials. Like they just like, as soon as the one fight is over, the next, like the next fight, the people are fighting the next fight, they're coming down like ready to go. So it's kind of crazy. Compare that. So you're going to pay $20 for like 2 hours, and you're gonna get like 14 fights or something. Tonight,
that's a lot for $20.
Tonight, as we're talking, you can pay $80 to watch 5 fights in UFC.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when UFC was something that no one ever talked about.
It was dangerous.
It was dangerous, and like only low class people watch UFC. Like that was back in the day.
They didn't even have referees, and then all of a sudden became like fucking grappling all the goddamn time. If I wanted to watch 2 dudes do that, I'd rent gay porn. Like seriously, that's all they. And I'm not meaning that derogatory. If I just want to see 2 dudes fucking hugging like that, and every time my buddies be like, "Oh, come watch UFC," I'm like, "No, man, I want to see the pre-Shamrock days when motherfuckers like had their necks broken and shit."
So that's a marketing issue, right? I mean, really,
because they're all commercialized now. You got to capitulate to whoever's paying your bills.
It's a marketing issue, and you know, when the UFC first started at the very beginning, they didn't have weight classes. Like that was the thing. Like you could be 165 pounds and be like some super Bruce Lee, and then you got to fight some guy that's like 400 pounds. It's like Yokozuna for Lillian or wrestling. There was no like, it was just like, oh, you're the best at what you do, cool, you're gonna go against the best of that guy, and it was, you know, it was kind of a disaster. Like that was then they kind of adopted like kind of the boxing style weight class stuff, and then people were able to fight like people that actually, you know, it was somewhat evenly matched. But when you did that, you kind of lost some of the marketing ability, right? Like it's like, oh, the best guy from here and the best guy from there. Like, yeah, let's watch what happens when they fight. So UFC's obviously done perfectly fine because they're the guy who founded UFC sold
gyms,
it for
like they opened fucking gyms.
Dana White.
He sold the guy who started it sold his share for $4 billion. Okay, the guy just made $4 billion. If any of us made $4 billion, I'm pretty sure it would be like, I'm good for the rest of my life.
I'm done.
I'd still be on this podcast. That's for sure.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
That's all
Was it
you'd
like-
be doing is a podcast. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like back
I mean,
back
like-
when
4
COVID
hours
first
a day.
back when COVID first hit hardcore, the UFC was going to keep going. Dana White was going to buy a fucking private island, and then
He
just have
did.
like UFC shit go on. But
He
then
did.
he was shut.
He bought a private island.
He did, but he was shut
did.
down by the government to keep going with the show.
Always be shutting down shit.
hmm So funny. Like I remember my first exposure to UFC. I just had to look it up to see which movie this was. It was a movie called Virtuosity in the
We
90s.
fact check on this show.
Anybody remember that? Like Jim kind of shook his head or like nodded his head. Like it was a shitty like internet style movie back when the internet was new and dangerous. And there's a scene where like the UFC's involved. And I remember seeing that go, oh, people actually whoop each other's ass. And that's back when the only way you could find like UFC fights was on VHS. So, I had friends that had VHS UFC fights that we'd sit around and watch and all that kind of shit. But that was like back when the motherfuckers broke each other's necks. Like they were actually trying to kill each other. There were no fucking referees. There's no point system. It's whoever comes out alive wins. Like it's fucking Lord of the Flies shit. So
at least Kimbo Slice kept it going for a while with his shit when it was before they inducted him into it. But you know who my favorite wrestler, my favorite wrestler right now is
Hulk Hogan.
No,
There you go.
fuck that.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan was a snitch. He was a fucking snitch. He ran
He's a
back to
bitch.
McMahon. No, it's this fucking little juggalo kid, and he like whoops his own ass. He'd be like, "This one's for all the juggalos, juggalettes, whoop whoop," and he'll like head dive into barbed wire and nails. Just whoops his own ass, and I'm like, this guy won and lost at the same time every time. And he's like, "This one's for the juggalettes, whoop whoop," and then like jumps through a microwave, and then screams and hollers. And I'm like,
I love wrestling so much.
Herb,
It's the only place you can find shit like that.
Herb, you know what, Herb? Jim defected from America. Okay, so of course he's gonna hate Hulk Hogan. All right, he's more of like
Hulk Hogan.
He's more of like a Bret Hart kind of guy because like that's where he's from. Okay.
Yes, I get it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I'm not a Bret Hart guy.
Listen, Hulk Hogan is a racist, sexist piece of shit.
Jim
Fuck that guy.
cried when Owen Hart fell from the rafters. Okay, he
can't get
legit
over his
cried.
I didn't
Damn,
cry,
man.
but I watched that shit happen live.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
And they
All
fucking
right, so I
went
guess we all
black
did.
on the
Like
Right.
completely black. It was like pictures of the crowd. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I wasn't a fan
Hulk
of
Hogan
Owen
has a
Hart.
sick tan though. You guys can't fucking. deny
Yeah,
it.
but dude, he's a snitch.
Brother.
It's a piece
They
of
wanted
shit.
to
Brother.
unionize, and he ran back to McMahon and was like, "Oh, massa, they're trying to revolt." He's
That's
a
why
snitch.
you guys need to listen to
100%.
this fucking wrestling podcast. It starts with an R. RASSLIN apostrophe. Wrestling. Look that shit up. He just interviewed Jake the Snake on there, which was my
Oh.
childhood.
I love
Jake
Jake.
comes here.
Dude,
Jake
I'm
comes here
still
to
angry.
speak.
I'm still angry because
Mhm.
he put the Ultimate Warrior in there, and Ultimate Warrior got bit. I'm still
Yeah.
angry.
He did.
And he talks about it in that podcast too. It's great. It's a great listen.
Shame on
Great
you.
anyways.
Listen.
He's so good.
It's a great listen, guys.
Jake the Snake's still doing shit now in wrestling, and it's fucking amazing.
Jake
like
the
your
Snake,
ass is.
the only thing
yeah,
Jake the
it's
Snake
like-
He's
can
not
do
a
as
wrestler, but
Jake
he's
the
like a
Snake is do
manager now.
podcasts.
But like
Yeah,
he's
in-
still amazing. He's
NXT
so
or
good on the
some
mic.
NXT. Or
No,
some
he's
shit.
on AEW. AEW.
Jake
Yeah.
actually comes here to one of the clubs, Club Absinthe, and does like a spoken word thing. He like tells stories and shit, and he
Yeah,
does
Yeah,
it like
he's crazy.
twice a year.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
he's so
awesome.
good. Like he's one of the best people on the fucking mic ever. He's so good.
Plus, he went through a
I-
bunch of shit too. Like he was fucking hooked on all everything.
All kinds of shit. Mhm.
And he
Yeah.
came out of it,
I
and then
did-
he. What? Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was
Oh
just
my
gonna
god,
say
this is
that
the
he-
most polite episode
he,
ever.
Right? Yeah. Fuck you, Juddy. And
Yeah, fuck
I'm
you.
gonna talk right now. He
There you
fucking.
go.
He has the talking pillow, everybody.
There you go.
I butted my way into this podcast, so
You goddamn
I'm
right.
gonna
And
say
you know
what
what?
the fuck I want.
I have a quick before you
Fucking
do that. I have a
amen
quick
and fuck your
before you-
couch.
before you do that, I just have a quick little dare to any of the other people that are watching that have been on the show before as a special guest. You can come into our waiting room and maybe we'll invite you into the conversation. The meeting ID is 857-6802-3799 and the passcode is 027016. So if you
You
were
do
ever on
realize
the
that it's
show-
a Saturday night and people are drunk right now. No one is going to
Should I do
know
it again?
what the
And
fuck
we're
you're
2
talking
I'll
about.
say it
hours.
again.
It's
Eight,
2
I'll
hours
repeat
already.
those
5,
numbers. I'll repeat
7.
those numbers right now.
Yeah, there you go.
805-775.
No. Okay, get a pen.
8675309.
Get a pen.
Jenny!
Get a pen. This is the finale, bitch. We gotta go crazy. So it is 8.
I'm dipping out in a few minutes because
You do
I got
that.
work in the
'Cause
morning.
we need a replacement because Cooper's gonna be dipping out and not pulling out. Hopefully,
You got your
857.
glasses on. That means we're done. You already
No,
gave us
Yeah,
the
we did
secret.
discuss
thing.
that. We did discuss that.
No,
He's
this
like,
is
hi, I'm
like
2
Eve,
hours
and
ago.
welcome to the
you.
Eve cast.
It's no,
And then-
it's okay. I'll say it again. 857-6802-3799 and the meeting passcode is 027016.
666-420-69.
We'll see. It's like magic.
Very nice.
If we conjure anyone. All right. So whoever,
Jake,
tell your story
Jake,
now.
Jake the Snake, his wife, who he I guess was left him after he was got into all that bullshit. Now it's 20 years later, they're getting back together. So
Oh, wow.
I
That's
am
pretty
not
cool.
doing that.
Jake the Snake fucks.
he does fuck, man.
He does
like
fuck.
for real. He fucks.
Okay.
Yo,
Snake
Herb,
fuck.
can I just
Hold on, Herp. I have everybody in my shop saying that things fuck now.
Things fuck.
I have my daughter saying
My wife hates
my
it. Like every
my
time I
apprentice
say it,
Jess-
my wife's like,
Oh,
"Do not
fuck
say
so
that."
because
hard.
her and her friends all curse. And so I was like, dude, no. So if something's awesome, you say it fucks. That's
It
what
fucks.
Herb
Yeah.
says.
my apprentice will be watching me tattoo somebody. She'll even be like, "Man, that fucks," and walks away.
I love it.
You're an
great.
inspiration.
To a whole generation.
Fuck yeah. But
On
yeah,
that note,
Why
so
we're all here.
It's
we're all
10:45. I gotta
inspirational.
get going.
Okay.
I got work in the morning.
you go to bed,
My last
Koopa.
day
Thank
before
you so
lockdown.
much. I'll make sure and change the outro for you.
That's fine. I will see all of you at some point or another before the next season starts.
Mhm.
You guys have a great night.
We will
I
Bye,
love
chat.
Lily.
you.
Bye, Juddy. Bye, Eve.
Cheers, Jim. Cheers.
Bye, Herp.
I love you,
Bye.
Cooper.
Bye, man.
Amen.
There we go. Bye.
So who did we have? Oh my God.
That's on my bedroom wall in a canvas.
I
love
love
it.
you.
That's so fantastic.
That
I don't
is
know
the
if
most
anyone
beautiful
watching
thing
can
ever.
see that, but it's amazing.
I'm doing that to my bourbon glass.
What's that? Like a kiss to a penis? Is
That's
that what
kiss
that
to a
was?
penis.
Yes,
that
it
was
was a kiss
that
to a
was an
penis.
original. That was an original Cooper Watts drawing.
Herb, you know what that looks like? That looks like an old time hit of acid. That's what that looks like.
At the very least.
I
Yes.
would know
Elephant.
nothing about that.
I don't even know what.
Yeah, you do.
Mm.
So,
I
okay,
guess
so
I
who
do,
did we?
but-
Hey, Lily, who did we have after Dick? Do you
What
remember?
did we have after Dick? Was it
Vagina.
We got
Nige?
two guests left. Yes,
It was Nige. Okay, it was Nige.
Nige.
Oh, I'm
was
just.
Nige.
You know what? I'm sad I missed Nige.
I'm gonna set you Miss Nige too.
Yeah.
He seemed like he
I-
was in a bad mood.
Yeah, he was kind of low key for that ep. Because, like, yeah, Herp came and
Well-
did like a cameo for a quick minute on that show.
But well,
No. He was exactly the same when we did our pre-interview. Like he's just like,
Well, it was
his
9 in the
personality
morning
is
for
very
him, right?
chill.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
that shit is
12
early.
o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon for him.
It takes a lot of effort to drink or.
Well,
or
he
get
was
high
also
before
going to
9
be
a.m.
going. He was like going to be meeting his wife's family, I think, to go like do
He had-
family stuff.
He had real life, like real people stuff going on, and for us, it was
Yes,
like
he did.
drink o'clock. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, woo! So, but it was
Yeah, and he
chill
was like,
though.
"Nah."
Like that was the most relaxed conversation I feel like we had, and it was great because it didn't like I didn't feel as needing to be like woo because it was just like it was just chill.
Yeah, 'cause
It was
he's
the guys
just a
from
super low-key
Australia.
person.
Well, because I think Australia is also just like, I'm from Hawaii. It's like even more low key. No one's like, otherwise you're a clown if you do that. I think Australia might be more so like
kind of every country that's not us. But yeah, I love Koala, man. He's the fucking best. Like, we followed each other for fucking ever. He's my favorite Australian.
When he gets on,
I think I was intimidated by his sensuality, and I didn't know what to say.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, you look at his face and you just get lost, and you're just like, I don't.
All right, that's enough out of that.
I think
crap.
that was a huge part of it. Truth be told, I think it has to be said.
Damn it, Herp, you were saying something.
So Koala's hot,
most sensual man, and when he gets on one, like when he,
of course, it was awkward. We were like,
Twitter. When he starts going off on Twitter, like, he has the best goddamn tweets I've ever read in my entire life. Like,
he is so
witty as fuck,
funny. He himself had his own podcast for a short period of time, like some years ago, and he had me do some like intro outro stuff for him, like vocally for it. It was like was it Post Party at Spago's or something like that was what it was called. So yeah,
you
like
were in his podcast and it failed too. I'm not the one that's the root cause here. Apparently you were in the same ones I was in there, and the other ones that failed.
I blame you for existing.
I blame Judy for not being there and helping fill in the questions, because Herb said it was awkward.
For what did I say?
Yeah, you popped in.
This is the most awkward podcast ever.
I remember that now.
I thought I should step in and save it, and I was a little mortified, and I was like, "Oh man,
it was super
we're just
awkward."
trying to
I was
have
like, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
Podcast.
Well,
and
it was low key.
So pressured. It was low key, exactly. But then at the same time, I was like, God damn it, he's not right. I'm not bringing my A game. I blame you, Judy.
You let me
Judy
into the
has
motherfucker.
the interesting questions. I'm just here to facilitate, people.
No, you are the owner. You are the owner of this podcast. Never.
It is the Evecast.
Never forget
that. I just came in thinking like what, and then I totally didn't know. I forgot that it's like fucking 9:30 in the morning for him, and I'm sure he's pissed off.
No,
anyway.
he was drinking coffee. He was drinking coffee.
I'm always angry at 9:30 in the morning too. Why would I?
I was laughing my ass off.
He was drinking coffee. It was bright as fuck, and I'm like, why is it so bright?
Exactly.
Like, I wasn't even drinking. I was sober over that day, so yeah, that might have something to do with it
sober too. I blame alcohol for not being there for me when I needed it.
Yeah, I've realized that since that show, that I have to have alcohol in my system to do the show. So
I do too, and I had to leave a child's birthday party early so I could get my bourbon on, because it's like you have to go into another realm.
I'm not funny if I'm not drunk.
I can tell by the look on Judy's face too that he agrees with all of this.
Touche, my friend. Touche.
Juddy is also not funny unless he's drunk. So.
Okay, so I just tweeted on my personal account the meeting ID and password, so we'll see what happens.
Fucking Herp's fucking.
It's Herp's fault. He made it seem like a good idea to do this. I like when you put your finger there. It looks like we're looking at your penis.
What? Oh, that? Yeah, that's my dick.
Yeah, it looks like
I don't want to see 7-year-old dick.
I was looking for my
I don't either.
charger.
Are you kidding? What do you mean you don't? You just made
not 7 years
Leviathan
old.
Pride
7-year-olds don't grow a beard like that. 17 at least.
17 3/4. So it's legal.
So,
my leg up.
So who do we have? Who was our last episode?
No, Lily really just disappointed a very long-term Twitter person. That shame on you, Lily. Shame on you.
For what? What did she do now?
Yeah. Oh. She just said she didn't want to see 7-year-old penis, and there's a certain person that we know that is like
that's
rolling
mean to
over
her.
in his
He
proverbial
is clearly
grave
7.
right now.
Yeah, that's rude.
Should be spanked.
Well, what else did we have after? Who was our last person that we had as a guest?
Tornado chick.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully Lily. Oh wait, sorry, you're right. Tornado chick.
Tornado chick. Like, okay, I have to tell you that Tornado chick was the only guest that we had that I did not have a pre-screen with, because I felt like my pre-screens sort of took conversations that were really great and sort of eliminated them from our conversation because they'd already been had, and I wanted to go in cold, kind of like Lily did with Dick Ferrari, because she went in cold having never spoken with him before, and that ended up being sort of like a cool way to do it. So like I'm so glad that she brought up was like the fact that during, the political turmoil that I had like tried to hold her feet to the fire, which she had no business having her feet in that particular fire. And we never had a chance to really like hash that out. And it was really cool to be able to do that like on the show. And like, I thought it was really healing for hopefully like everyone, honestly, because I think a lot of people got affected by that seriousness. And I think it's something that we should definitely mention, since, even with the Sup and Sink episode, we did get into some pretty like contentious situations on this season about,
Political
politics
stuff.
and just, yeah, like, I mean, it's the elephant in the room and the donkey in the room for that matter. And, I became fairly neutral and mostly satanical about the rest of it, of just sort of trying to laugh at everything as much as possible and just really not take anything seriously, and shifting gears completely into a just different, flipping things like on its end, and looking at it in that way instead. And
so wait, so can I add to that real quick?
Yeah, like what do you guys think?
I would like to, for the ultimate macro thinkers or whatever, we've had on this show a satanic lesbian with an ex-husband, a Trump voter, a pansexual, and a guy who abandoned America to live in Canada. And all of these
who's
people...
who's a Levian Satanist, by the way?
Yeah, go through these again real quick. Go through those again. Once again. Just for me, please.
I'm pretty
It's like the
high,
Breakfast Club of even friends.
Okay, so basically he's trying to describe us all, but he sucks at words. So
he's the lesbian Satanist.
He is the lesbian Satanist.
What am I?
Yeah, you're the 7-year-old. That's it. So Cooper is actually a Levian Satanist. That is how he identifies. He is an expat of America. He is a permanent resident of Canada. Fuck America. Eve was what was it you said? The Satanist.
Lesbian.
The lesbian Satan. She's not
Satanist,
a lesbian. She's not a lesbian.
I'm pansexual.
She's also pansexual. Okay, but she identifies more with like the Wiccan satanic, like that kind of realm, with being nondescript.
Excuse me for being high. All right.
Agreed.
You are a piece of shit.
Trump voter. Listen,
the Trump voter, the piece of shit.
That's all I have to say.
You're a piece of shit.
I have to say for
you're a piece of shit.
Say it again, Jody. Say it again.
That's all I have to say for anything.
That you're a piece of shit?
That immediately differentiates me and puts me in a very specific category.
Because you're a piece of shit.
Amongst the rest of us.
Because you're a piece of shit.
Don't listen to her.
No, trust me.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. And I'm the one that refuses to be labeled. So, like, I'm technically pansexual. I am liberal, but I don't identify as Democratic or Republican.
Your intro every show is donate to me and I'll give half of it to Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
Come on, like, I mean, listen,
I 100% support Planned Parenthood.
Oh my God, someone wants to come in the show.
We all okay, but we all are completely different, and you know what we do? Get on every Saturday night and just fuck with each other and have fun.
Yeah.
Come on, like the rest of the world could probably learn something from this dynamic.
If we just don't talk about politics, we're good.
Knock. Who is this?
I don't know. They're connecting with. Who is this?
Who is
This is
Eminem?
like
Is
chat
this
roulette.
silver dollar?
Is this the CIA? Are we finally in
You're
trouble?
not Eminem. So if you're like mini Eminem, you're like silver dollar or something. Or
I see lips in a suit. I don't know.
I kind of like it. What's your lips and suit? Who is this, Mr. Wine Man?
Wine and a champagne flute.
Hello,
What's
people.
up, buddy?
Argentina,
Oh, nice. We are from multiple places in America.
South America, yeah. You know,
Where are
14,
you?
Boca Juniors.
you are very dressed up.
So
What would
let
you
me
like?
ask-
What
Sir,
would you
let me
like to
let me
say?
ask you a
Dressed up.
question. Sir, let me
What
ask
would
you
you
a
like to say,
question.
sir?
Is-
You are a
I
very
love
fine
this.
looking man. You are well dressed. What would you like to say?
I don't know. I am Jewish, maybe.
You
Oh,
just
I love
married?
this. I
The
love this.
Pascua, you know.
Can I ask you, is a hot dog
This is
a
a car
sandwich?
crash.
Thank
It's
you.
a hot dog.
You know, Pascuas. No, sorry, my English is horrible.
Oh no, that's okay. May I ask you, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Hang up.
Okay,
hang up.
that's the
hang up.
definitive answer.
Knew it.
The official
I love
answer.
this guy.
Because he doesn't
Fuck
even speak
you,
English as his
Judy.
first language,
Fuck
and he
you,
said,
Judy.
no, it's not. And
Fuck
he
you,
laughed
Judy.
at it
Fuck
like
you,
it's such
Judy.
an
Fuck
obvious
you, Judy.
thing. Like, of course not. Okay. Sir,
I'm
you
gonna-
just actually helped us with our podcast because for the entire season, we have been wondering if a sandwich, excuse me, I am drunk, if a hot dog is a sandwich.
I'm right and
Uh-oh.
Judy's wrong.
No.
And
This is-
unfortunately, in America, we do not get taught very much about geography because we're taught that America is the only country that matters. So
America,
you said your
fuck
country,
yeah.
but I don't actually know where that is. And I'm very curious because we're not educated in that.
I don't know.
department,
Where did he
which
say he was from?
India.
Oh, okay.
is- No, he didn't say India.
Did he?
Yes.
No,
Did
he did say India. I'm just drunk and I missed that.
Yes.
Okay, India.
Well,
I've
I
heard
hope
of
you
that
know where
place.
India is.
I do know where India is.
Oh, and he hung
This
up.
sucks. Okay, that was the best experiment ever.
That was great.
Okay, that was the best moment of the show ever. We need to do this for.
I think he
Wait.
signed into the wrong Zoom meeting. he dialed one
Okay.
number different than what it should have
Okay,
been.
regardless, no, you always say that, but that's not always the case. Like I promise people to follow this thing. No, okay. For next season, we have to like tweet out the Zoom information.
Well, you can.
I will. No, I will. I'm just saying, like, be ready in season 3 for people to knock. This is like a room we're all in, and people are gonna knock on the door, and we don't know who the fuck it is. It's like Pee Wee Herman's hellhole.
So are we inviting the 7-year-old as a regular now? Is that what we're
I
doing?
We did invite Herb. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because we did have a plan, but then Herb has a. He said.
Well, it was just
Yes.
like, okay, so the pandemic's over, and it's just like I can't commit to Saturday nights. Is basically
So
what it comes down to. So
So you're
Herb.
basically on the same boat with Judy.
Yeah. So I was just about to say, Herb, if you want, like, because I can't commit to another season of this, but I already said, hey, look, like when I am free, I will gladly, jump on. But after this pandemic's over, like I will literally for my job travel internationally. I have a trip planned to Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, Australia,
You
and
didn't tell
Germany.
that guy he was in the wrong podcast.
Yeah. So I legit
Fucking
like
laughing
you know
about
you
that.
like I know that's coming. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but like I can't commit to that, So
Mm.
I will gladly like if you want to like share, whatever, like
Yeah, whatever, man.
I mean,
Please,
it's not my
feel free,
show, but
feel
in my
free.
opinion, I think it should just be left open for like the guys or well, any of us actually. Like, if you can jump on. If not, then it's cool too.
I agree. And like,
Lily,
you know,
that just shows your inherent sexism. Okay, and the fact that you are just that. I thought your group of people were. I thought you people were supposed to be woke.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
but
the
you're
part
just
that set it
proving
off.
your own hypocrisy right now.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm
You know,
sorry.
So
The white man
fault.
says what?
Yeah, but,
Yes.
what? You're whiter than anyone ever. You're Irish.
The only reason I'm friends with Judy is because
The
of
only thing
Mrs.
whiter
Judy.
than you is a potato, and because you can't get that color no matter how much you eat of them.
I just accidentally
I hope she
muted
punches you in
myself
the
on
dick.
Twitter.
She does that constantly. Don't worry about it.
I love her
I didn't
so
hear that.
much. I love her so much.
Honestly, we do need to recognize Judy's wife because she has actually been a very helpful and integral part of this podcast. She has been mentioned at least once or twice or 5 times every single time we have an episode because she will say something amazing in the background and you know Lily hears it, she comments on it. I mean, just like can we get a little 5 for Mrs. Judy, please?
Mrs. Judy, they are applauding you for your
contributions to the show.
For your contributions to their amusement at behest of me.
That's not what we said at all. You tell that girl what we said.
She can hear it. We're on speaker.
Content of the show.
Yeah, you're on goddamn speak. You are now, and I turned it up too, so you can all have your fucking grand old time together. So hang on a second. God
We
damn
said thank you for your continued.
Hang on.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah,
you make me make magic 5 times in a row.
Ready, go.
We wanted to give props and recognition to Mrs. Judy because she has always come in and said some shit that's really important and is really funny. And then Lily will chime in because she hears it. And then we all ask what you said, and it's always funny and you're always right. And like, we just love you, just end up coming in. And you've been a huge little, like, you know, part of the podcast, not knowing, even though we are fucking nothing and mean nothing and are a dumb little podcast. We love you and you're amazing. And Lily wants to take you away from Judy.
Yes. Everything she said, and I appreciate you giving Judy a swift kick in the balls every chance you get.
Appreciate me.
I always appreciate you. Don't worry about it.
We love you.
And wait,
I love you.
What did you say? Just say.
I said I'm the light.
And
I don't know.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Look at them.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
We do enjoy ourselves.
Yeah,
Yep.
love you too.
It's okay.
Yeah, love you, dear. Yeah, love boo. Heyo. Yeah, all right.
I love her so much.
You just Brett Michaels her. Heyo. Do you have a bandana on, motherfucker?
So when she kills Judy, I will marry her and fuck her on his grave. We've already established this. It's going to happen.
I'm going to film it.
Mm-hmm, he's putting it in his will. That's
nope. As she before I said heyo, as she walked away, she walked away and she's like, and titties, and I'm like, heyo. So you know, hey, she knows what she just did. Not only does she know what she just did, but she just flashed them titties at the end because she's just like, I nailed it. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, what?
God damn right. You better go. I want you to end.
Yeah. Everyone is telling me exactly how lucky I am. You are correct. Love you too.
That's right. That's right, bitch.
Yes.
That's right,
yes,
bitch.
dear.
That's
Yes,
right,
dear.
bitch.
Well, I think everyone should definitely look forward to us. We're going away for about a month, but we won't be going away for very long. You're stuck with us. We're not fucking going anywhere. We're gonna be back for season 3, and hopefully we get some random motherfuckers showing up. Like from now on, I think you're right, Lily. I think but that was perfect timing for him to stumble into the wrong Zoom meeting. But we're gonna have some new surprises, and who knows? It's gonna be even less organized. I say let's embrace chaos and go with it.
It's a new
totally
chaos
agree
cast.
with that. I totally
Eve-
agree with that.
Eve,
Yes,
Eve,
dear.
Lily is never right. Okay, just no.
I
Lily
think
was
you
not right.
you mispronounced always.
Yeah, you don't know how that slipped up. No idea.
Oh my God. Well,
Don't forget, it's been recorded. He's called me both a legend and royalty. So
Why are you bringing up?
You're legendary royalty.
Why are you bringing up old shit?
Well, I love you guys to bits, and don't be a stranger on my phone and shit. I'm gonna miss you guys for a month, but we will have season 3 available around my birthday, which is April 30th, which is also the same day Disneyland is opening. I think there's a correlation. I say yes, because the world revolves around me, of course. Right.
Well, my birthday is on Easter, so if anyone wants to send me nudes or
God
money,
damn it.
that's fine.
No one cares about your birthday.
She's
no
always
one
got
does.
she's got always something better
Judy
going
can
on
suck
than I
my
do.
dick,
Yep, thank you.
and Herc's too young to
suck your
suck my
dick.
dick.
Everyone can
Eve-
suck mine too.
You
Eve,
all
thank-
can suck my dick.
There you go, Eve. Eve, thank you for putting this together.
Of course. It's my pleasure. I love you guys.
Anytime.
Thank you for
Love
this
you guys.
car crash as Lily came up with.